Hi, everybody. My name is Rita Crompton. This is the Inventors Roundtable Virtual Central and Virtual West, and I want to welcome everyone tonight so that we can share stories, but also record this so that anybody who isn't available tonight can listen and learn from what we have to discuss. I know that one of the big things we had about a month ago. Hey, Jess, how are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
Just fine. A few, I think it was about 8 weeks ago, about 2 months ago, that we had the guys on from the R&D tax credit. And so, Lon, you are right in the middle of being able to do all of this research and prototyping and everything and take it as a tax credit. But you need to be able to, remind whoever is doing your, taxes that you do qualify.
Okay.
All right. And it is a dollar for dollar tax credit. So from the time you get started doing research, all right, until the time that you are ready to do your first manufacturing run, you are in the stages of research and development. That is a dollar for dollar tax credit. It's been around for decades. Most independent inventors have no idea. I have talked to presidents of inventor groups across the country. Nobody had an idea that this was available to them. And they have talked to their accountants and they had no idea that this was available. And it's been around for decades, literally decades. And so the guys that are helping all of our inventors are from ADP. There are some other groups out there that do help, but they are willing and able to walk you through it, your accountant through it, but it's a dollar for dollar credit, not a tax deduction. Those are different. All right, because as a tax deduction, you don't get the dollar for dollar credit. All right, and all right, so maybe you only get $100, but $100 is $100. You could end up getting 5,000 if you've put 5,000 into it as a tax credit. So it's certainly worth checking into. They will go back up to 3 years. All right, as a tax credit. So anything that you've done on it, it's certainly worth the ask and for your accountant to find out. So that's one of the big ones. Anybody that wants to be on the radio, love to have you. Let me know. Shoot me an email that you are ready to be on the radio, and I will get you on, because it is just amazing how fast Monday rolls around, and I've got to have 3 people on. Lon, your question.
Okay. Will you send out a contact who I can get in touch with to ask questions about this?
The tax credit, I've got a meeting with them on Monday. Next Monday.
Can you give them my information, my phone number, and my email?
I'm gonna find out who they want me to use on a regular basis, and then I'll send it out to everybody.
Okay, that'd be awesome.
All right.
And then also, sorry for interrupting, but also going on this fishing trip, because this is where I'm going to actually be doing my market research for an entire week. Does the whole thing qualify from the second I leave the house to the second I get back? What does and does not qualify, or do you not know?
I know some of that. All right. As far as what qualifies as a cost of deduction, all right, anytime you're using your computer or your telephone to talk about business, it qualifies. All right. So yes, your entire trip qualifies. A daily allowance qualifies. Now, there's going to be a differential between what qualifies as a business deduction and what qualifies as a tax credit. And I don't know that. That would put me dangerously into practicing tax law without a
license. Yeah.
I try not to do that, but all I can do is say, ask these questions and get you on the right track. So I know.
I appreciate it, because it's going to be expensive to. I mean, I'm going 1,000+ miles and going to be gone for almost 2 whole weeks.
Oh yeah. So anything that you do related to your product is a business deduction. Part of that will be a tax credit.
So is it keep receipts until I get back and be the best thing?
Oh yeah. Any gas, any work on the car, your cell phone, any lodging, you're usually given a per diem on food. So no, you can't eat steak with every meal. So, but a lot of those qualifiers, any bait, any supplies, anything that you've got to use, if you're taking somebody with you, all of that qualifies then at least as a business deduction.
That's exciting for me because I was looking at funding this all on my credit card until I get back, and then hoping to recap it on the backside through grant money.
It's going to be easier to take a tax deduction and a tax credit than it is going to be to get a grant. Now, because of your situation with the, being handicapped, that might be a little bit different. There may be categories that you can file for. So I don't want to say don't check into it. I'm just saying it's going to be a heck of a lot faster to take your business deductions and your tax credits a lot faster than
That's exciting.
going
Thank
after
you.
a grant. All right. All right. Anybody else have questions for me? If you don't have questions for me, I'm going to have questions for you. Yeah, Jess.
I have a question. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I didn't understand everything that you were talking about. I guess this is probably follow-up from the last meeting, which I missed. But for these business deductions and tax credits, do you actually have to have, like, what stage of the process do you need to be in to be able to claim those? Like, do you have to have an LLC?
It's this is all right. It's pretty easy to set up an LLC.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It doesn't cost anything in most states, or $50. They vary, but you can set up an LLC pretty straightforward, pretty easy. All right. Once you've set up the LLC, you can take it on, I think, Schedule C of your personal income tax.
Okay.
All right. So it's just, it's then filling out the forms and the numbers, pretty straightforward. And I know that I use Schedule C on mine, and then there's a couple of others that I use, and I can have, go back and take a look and see what those are. But then you just fill in the numbers, and then you can take a partial deduction for, your cell phone is a business expense. Using your car is a business expense. Part of your internet services is a business expense. So anything that, when you are talking, your product becomes a business expense for your LLC.
Okay.
All right. And so the sooner you start doing that, because right now everything is an expense. You don't have any income.
Correct.
So you can take, a certain amount against your personal income. All right. And that's got a time limit. I think, you've got 3 years or something like that you can have a loss on a business as a startup before they just classify it as a hobby. And then you don't, but you can get a long way in 3 years if you're paying attention and moving along.
Okay.
All right. Your accountant is going to know more about that, or certainly being able to, call the right person and ask. Do not take this to an H&R Block. Do not take this to one of the online where it's the artificial intelligence dropping numbers in, because they've got no creativity. All right. And they never look outside of the box.
That makes sense.
Most of what we're doing is outside of the normal box. All right. So, where you are with yours, Jess, you would be into that research and development category.
Okay.
The searching, searching. All right. So that's going to qualify as well. You've got to be able to then, some things qualify, some things won't. And then it's appropriate to have, a real live accountant saying, all right, this is what you've got. This is what you need.
So is it recommend, since I am still in that beginning phase of research and development, is it recommended to go ahead and at least get the LLC set up now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Set it up now. It's easy. You can do that online. Most states, they might have a small fee for it, but then you're good.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Your own EIN number for your LLC.
Okay.
All right. And that's free as well. You just go on to the government site, request for a business EIN number, because that's what allows you to be then the LLC, the limited liability. It separates you out. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You betcha. Lon?
I was just going to comment, and for anybody who doesn't know, a lot of states, if you are a veteran or disabled, they waive the fees for the LLC if your state has a fee. In Texas, it's free for the first 5 years, and it's normally, I think, $300 isn't the normal fee, but they waive it for 5 years if you're a veteran.
Nice.
So just something to keep in mind.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I mean, there's some states that are $20 to do an LLC, some are 50, and then there's some that, you know, are much higher. So, you know, it's online. You can just go and take a look and see that if you qualify for any categories that give you a break. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
I found out when I talked directly to the state's attorney's office, or not the Secretary of State's office, because on Texas, their website, it's not user friendly, but anyway, sorry.
There's a lot of those out there, really. So you know, thank you. So, but I think that's the, you know, the newest thing that we've had coming out. Another one, a big one that we talked about on the radio last week was using artificial intelligence. We hear about it all the time. And that artificial intelligence, you know, a Google search, you know, I love my little blue dot on my, you know, Gmap, till it says you've reached your destination and I'm in an empty parking lot. So, you know, it doesn't always work and you've got to be prepared. And so, you know, a lot of times that artificial intelligence is only as good as what you can put into it. So, you know, if you're doing a search on a Google patent search, it only shows about a third of what's really out there because they just don't have a big enough search engine. So it's really then a matter of, you know, understanding these limitations. So don't use just one. Get out there and see what else is available, and then, you know, get some expert advice. Most inventors don't want to be able to use, they don't want to have to use the go in and use the USPTO search site for very long. I had some doctors one time that said, oh, we can do our own search. And the next thing, and that's, they call me back, it's like, shoot me now, how much is it to have somebody else do it? So, you know, everybody's got their own limitations on what they're willing to search. And I've heard from lots of people that USPTO website is a monster, and it is. I spent some time on it myself. So anyway, Marco, thank you for joining us tonight. Are you going to unmute and say hi? All right, maybe not. So anyway, I would like you guys to introduce yourselves to each other. And so Lon, we'll start with you. Introduce yourself, tell everybody what you're working on. As long as, you know, you're patent pending, yes, tell everybody what you've got.
My name is Lon Cunningham. I'm from Winona, Texas. And I'm working on a fishing device that makes it so people who have limited upper body mobility and or paralysis, partial paralysis, can fish independently, casting out, reeling in, catching their own fish. It really works, and I've already got people wanting to buy them, and I've got two places wanting to sell them, and I just got my first prototype finished, so I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's real exciting. And I'm hoping that you're going to want to license that, and you're going to ask me to help you.
That's what I'm aiming towards. I looked at costs to do it myself and to set up, and it would probably take about, I would guesstimate about $100,000 and a force of at least 10 people to set up and manufacture them ourselves and do all of the behind the scenes work, building, packaging, shipping, advertising, everything. And so
I think you're probably in the right ballpark for the manufacturing, but you do know you don't have to do it all yourself.
Right. And the guy that did my drawings for me, he actually knows people that manufacture several of the components. They're already in existence. So they're shelf ready. Just go and I want 10 of these. I want 50 of those. So that keeps the cost down. But in order to keep the cost down enough to make it a sellable item that somebody doesn't have to sell an arm or a leg for.
It would cost $7.
No. If we were going to do it ourselves, I would have to have a carbon fiber printer and an aluminum lathe, at least a couple of them to make it so we would have a quick turnaround on product.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it's tough. And you know, when somebody licenses it, they're going to make it sell it and send you a check.
Plus, I don't have to worry about fighting if somebody tries to infringe on my patents.
That's right. That's right. Somebody else is going to fight it. So anyway, all right, Melanie, you want to introduce yourself? All right. I guess she might have stepped away. Miss Holdylocks.
All right, I'm Hillary, and I designed the hair bun holder that I'm wearing right now. It conceals inside, or else you can stick it on the outside with like a little decorative bling, and you just take like any kind of like pin and poke it through, you know, like this, and you can make it as a external barrette as well. But I roll it up, wind it up. It can make pony buns. It can make hair buns, and you know, low up space buns, the whole 9 yards.
So how long have you been selling, Hillary?
Oh, they're selling daily. I get like about 1 or 2 orders a day, and that's just using my Wix. And I'm not even marketing, because that I realized that with Amazon holding my trademark name, if I do any marketing with my name, they're going to benefit. They're
Yeah.
going to get that advertising dollar. So I'm holding off on marketing with that. I use influence marketing right now. I just got another girl that's interested in my product. She's got a big following, and she's going to do TikTok.
TikTok.
Show. Yeah, and my TikTok store's up. I got that running.
Okay, good for you.
Yeah, I had to work hard on that. That was not easy. And Amazon's not easy either. I got to figure that out. I just got started, and it's so complicated. All these things are complicated. And
One of the guys on Amazon, he went to the trade show with us. He has a gardening product. And he started working with Avi, and they do all of his Amazon.
oh, okay. Yeah, I'm thinking of hiring. I tried to do it on Fiverr. I hired one of those guys to do my little store, my brand store. And I thought he was going to get in there and do it. And all he did was give me a big PDF, and that was it.
Yeah. No, Lee said that they made all the difference in the world, that his sales have just, you know, really, you know, gone way up since
Right.
since the show last March, where he met these guys. And you know, I can send you the, you know, the contact information that he used, so you can at least take a look.
Yeah, because all I'm having a hard time with is like when I try to put my listing in, I got my URL in there, and I keep, you know, waiting for them to approve it, and it's not generating. So I'm between Seller Central and Brand Registry. I got my Brand Registry. It's just I don't know how to use it. I mean, I'm starting to put little things in there, but then it says have a shoppable picture right here, and I'm like, I don't know how to make a shoppable picture. You know, I can put a picture in there, but I you know, Amazon doesn't have tools, so you have to put code.
Send me an email tomorrow and remind me. There's a couple of different contacts I can send you.
Oh, good. Yeah, because I pay them to put that up there for me. And meanwhile, I just, you know, waiting to see what I heard, I was watching some YouTube videos. He said what to do is to get your package, you know, that you ship, you know, your product in with your trademark name on it, put it with your product. And when you get into the store, you put that in there, and that will kind of get those people to stop hijacking your name to search.
All right. Well, like I said before, you know, we used to sell stuff on Amazon for all of our inventors, and it just got to be more than I could handle. So everybody started doing their own. And that was 10 years ago. So a lot has changed since.
Yeah, it's really tough. I mean,
yeah, it is. So I'll send you that information.
Awesome. I really appreciate that.
Not a problem. And then we'll get you back on the radio. That always helps too. So Melanie, let's try it again, honey. There you are. All right. Unmute yourself and introduce yourself.
Okay. Can you hear me well now?
I can hear you.
Okay. So my name is Melanie. I don't currently have a patent pending on my invention idea, so I'm not really sure how much to mention about it.
Tell us
Um,
where you are at physically, and then tell us, like state where you are located, and then tell us the industry that you're working in.
Okay, so I'm in Ogden, Utah,
Oh, okay.
and one sec.
I must have just
I'm
driven.
actually at work right now.
Okay.
So I work as a design engineer, and I'm designing manufacturing equipment, but my product idea is something else. So
Okay. What industry is your
Um,
product in? Pet product.
I guess like entertainment.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was just in Utah 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
Ended up driving, went into Salt Lake, but drove up to Cache Valley.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
So
Cache Valley is very beautiful.
It's very nice. I've got kids up there, so yeah, I do get out there
Yeah.
every once in a while. So Jess, you're next. Introduce yourself. Nope, you're muted.
Yep.
There you go.
Good afternoon or evening, everyone, depending on where you are. My name is Jessica. I am coming to you from Kentucky. This is my second meeting with this group, and I am looking to absorb everything I can from Rita and take all of her knowledge. And I am looking to, like Rita mentioned earlier, I am in the research stage of my product. My background is healthcare IT and radiology, and so my product is not patent pending. So I'll just tell you a little bit about it. It's like software development, I guess you could say, to sort of enhance the patient experience for patients that do not speak English as their primary language. Like I said, I'm still in the research and development stage of that, but I'm just looking to find out, listen to you folks that are further along in your process than I am, to find out what works, what hasn't. And I'm just excited to be here.
Well, we are glad to have you. And I remember what we had talked about as far as what you were working on.
Yep.
One of the things that you can consider doing, and Melanie, I'm not sure where you are with yours either, but you can, when you get that first comprehensive search done, all right, the $500 worldwide comprehensive search, you learn a lot. That is part of your research. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And what it does is it allows you to see what else has been done in the ballpark. So when you talk to the attorney or your engineer, whichever one you're talking to, we like to see you get patent pending before you start going out there and talking to a bunch of people. But sometimes it depends on where you are in the process that you can do that. But it shows you what is out there. So you can go and say, okay, mine is better because, mine is different because. All right. And that's what the attorney needs to know. They can't read your mind. All right. The design engineers can't read. But if you've got a previously filed patent that you're looking at and say, okay, this is in the same industry as mine. This is in that ballpark, but it's got changes. It's like the guy that did the flashlight that wraps around the pole. It's still a light coming out of the end of the stick, but he got a patent because it wraps around a pole. Very cool. Well, when you say I'm in the flashlight industry, you're not giving away any of your secrets. But boy, when you start looking then at a search that comes out and you say, okay, I need to move on to my next idea. This has been done a half a dozen ways. And I had a gentleman a few weeks ago, he had the search done, came back and he goes, there's nothing like it out there. There is nothing like it out there. I have been searching and I am so smart. I'm not kidding. There were at least a dozen things that showed up in the patent search that he needs to move on, because there is no way. And he was so angry at me for telling him, I'm sorry, but you can't file a patent on that idea because it's already been done a dozen times. That he goes, that's fine. I'll find an attorney who'll do it. Well, yes, you can always find an attorney who's going to do something silly. They're sending you an invoice. It's just really a matter of whether or not you should. And so that search can be a very valuable tool in the, when you're just getting started. Because then you can go to an engineer and say, okay, look at these drawings. All right, look at this video of this product and make these changes for mine. And it's so much easier for them to do it because then they don't have to try to read your mind. Okay. So, and that's always the first thing that you pay for, comprehensive search. All right. Marco, are you there? Do you want to introduce yourself? Still not sure. All right. So, Hillary, we're going to come back to you for just a second. I'm going to, if it's possible, suggest that you think about joining us for the ASD Market Week in March.
March, this, oh yeah, I probably can if I don't cut my fingers. That really,
You know, no cutting anything. All right.
I know it was a weird, it was bad, but yeah, that sounds, I wanted to do it so bad. And like I say, I couldn't even get stitches because I did it too late at night. There's no place to get stitches.
Oh, so, well, anyway, think about it. You know, it is the best show for consumer products.
Wow.
In any industry, whether it's, you know, beauty industry, sporting good industry, tools, pet products. So, you know, it's one of the biggies. It's 3 floors in Las Vegas. It's 4 days. I mean, the hours are just outrageously long. So we take a group of 40 inventors out there, and it's one of the few where you can actually take orders for products. We had people that did really, really well finding licensing options, and they're still being, you know, worked on and considered. It is Jess, you would probably end up going to a different trade show that is in the medical arena. There is I know we had another couple. It was a father-daughter team that went to one of the medical seminars that was a conference as opposed to a trade show. And there is a group out there. You need to send me an email and let me send you their contact information, because there's a group out there that will help sponsor an inventor working on a new product in the medical field. All right. And they did help them, and they featured them at the show a year ago, March, because they were, well, it was a year ago in July. Yeah, a year ago, because we just got through July. Anyway, they sponsored them at a meeting, this group, and they actually, then we found a company to license it. And it was a product for the stoma. And it was the company that makes the stoma that actually licensed the product for them. They said, we've known this was a problem for decades. We could never figure out how to fix it. And the young woman had early onset Parkinson's and became a chemist when she went to college and figured out how to solve the problem herself. And this company that manufactures stoma and sells them all over the world, they're the ones that licensed it. And so it took them about 6 months to get her teed up, and then they launched it. The product in March. So they signed the deal in July. They worked on it. They got the FDA approval on it, and then they launched it in March.
Was she on the call a few months back?
She might have been on a call. I know I've had her on the radio a couple of times, Jasmine.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know if she's been at one of the meetings, but I know that I've had her on the radio.
Okay.
All right. And her product is listed on the website.
Nice. Okay.
Okay. But you know, there is a show for everything. And sometimes it's, you know, you go to an educational conference is more productive for you. That's where she went. For us, it's, you know, ASD Market Week, because they do everything. Their tagline is diapers to diamonds. But you know, gives you an idea of how broad the scope is on their stuff.
I got a question now. You managed to license that without the social media marketing and all that stuff, because a lot of people don't do the market research first, and it's big, you know, to do that.
Okay, there's market research is one thing, and marketing is a completely different animal.
Okay.
When you're looking at the market research, what you're doing is you're looking at the need for your product.
Okay.
Now, she was her own market research because she had early onset Parkinson's. She'd been dealing with it for years. And every time she would go to the doctor and complain about the problem, he would talk about all the other patients. So they actually used her doctor's patients list for market research.
Oh, I see. I wasn't sure how broad it has to be, you know.
And you know, It doesn't have to be all that broad. All you need to know is whether or not there's enough of a need on the product you're working on. It's like, Lon was his own market research. All right. Because he needed what he invented. And then when people started seeing it, it's like, I need one of those. So you can take a look at what it is. All right. And then the need for it. So, I know what Jess is working on. Yes. All right. I can see the need for it. I can see, there's similar things that are out there, but hers is very unique to the problem that she sees. And it's in the workplace. A lot of times when you're developing something that's in, your own workplace, or it's something that, you've got a special condition like Jasmine did with that, or Lon does with his, you understand that research, that market research, and your market research is all a tax credit.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So that all falls in there. So, you're far enough down the road. You are into marketing as opposed to the market research, which is what you would have done prior to going into manufacturing.
Okay.
All right.
No, I would have something.
To go after licensing, you're in the, they're going to know their market research. When you're talking to a legitimate licensee, they already know what the market is.
Okay.
Otherwise, you don't want to talk to them. All right, Lon? Lon, go ahead.
I know this is a different subject, but my invention, I call it the quadcast because I'm a quad, and it's for casting out. But then I also found that Hewlett Packard has a quadcast, and theirs is a microphone for these podcasts. I was taking some classes on trademarking, and if it's in a completely different category, you could trademark the same name for something, two different things. Is it going to cause me big problems to have the same name? Is it something I should change the name now while it's young, or?
Okay, so
what's your best advice?
Okay, so some experience on that. We had a lady that many years ago filed the name Disposal Genie. Okay, Disposal Genie. It goes into a garbage disposal in the kitchen. All right, but the makers of Diaper Genie, they filed an infringement lawsuit against her. And now the trademark office, we had an attorney step in, and they talked to the trademark office. The trademark office told the Diaper Genie guys to go take a jump off a cliff, because one was in a nursery and one was in the kitchen. The bigger issue is when someone Googles you, are they going to be coming up with the other guy, or are they going to be coming up on yours? So when we look at names of products, all right, and you ask yourself, what would someone Google to find me? And, I've got a guy now, we're doing kind of a tug of war on the name of his product. And I said, no consumer is going to understand what your name is. All right. So when you think about what would someone Google to find me, and then look at those words. If you need a tagline, get a tagline. And what I mean with the tagline, we had some guys that did, they called it Tagabiner. Well, it was a takeoff from the word carabiner. Well, everybody knew what a carabiner is, but nobody is going to Google Tagabiner to come up with pet tag holder. All right, because that's what they had, was a pet tag holder. So they got the tagline pettagholder.com. Well, now when somebody wants a new pet tag holder and they Google pet tag holder, this was starting to come up on the first page. So sometimes using a unique name or a unique spelling is okay, as long as you can get a really good tagline that's the .com, so you own it, and it gets directed then to your website or any of your social media stuff. So that's another way that folks use that. But honestly, if you can still change the name, it is not worth the potential fight. And it's certainly not worth it for them, for somebody who's looking for yours to keep getting theirs and saying, well, where's the fishing gadget? We can't find it. All we're doing is this other one over here. Otherwise, and some folks say, well, I use the .USA, the .us, I use the, .info, .anything else. .com still rules the world. So if you cannot get the .com, you want to know why.
Well, the .com is available.
So
it's still unused. Uh,
But is it, $2,000 or $25?
I just punched it up and it says lease to own is $596.
$5.96,
No, $596.
and go move on. All right, you should be able to get a web name for about $15.
It says
Now-
it's not for sale, but it's under Dan GoDaddy. That's why.
Yeah. So the other thing to keep in mind is that when you license it, a lot of times the licensee will want to pick the name. So
Right.
don't waste, you can use the name, all right, and put the TM by it. That is the poor man's mark. This is mine. You're claiming it is yours. You're using it on your materials. This is mine. Don't pay to register your mark until the licensee says, yes, we want to use it. And then you
So-
pay to register it.
Okay, so while I'm doing the market research, somebody wants to buy one, hypothetically speaking, because I've already had offers to, I mean, I've had several people want to buy this thing, even before I ever had a prototype other than the one I was fishing with. Do I need to put patent pending on the device in order to sell them, or do
Nope.
I need to put TM quadcast and
Lon, you don't have to put anything on your prototype that you don't want to.
okay?
They're saying, here, let me give you $50 for that, and you can put it, wrap it in toilet paper and hand it to them. All right. It's when you start going into a store that you want to be able to put patent pending on it. You want to be able to put the TM on the name. When you're putting it out there in public's eye, if you've got a picture that goes up, if you're selling online, you want to have that up there. But if you've got somebody that says, hey, I want to buy one of those, it really doesn't matter. And even, packaging when you're selling online, they've already paid for it. They don't give two hoots what kind of package it comes in as long as it works.
Right.
All right. So it's, some of those, it's got to have patent pending on it. If, a lot of people will go ahead and they will put patent pending on, the packaging or the product. If you were out there doing a run, if you were going to do a short run, I'd say, yes, put it on there. But where you'd be selling one or two here and there, don't worry about it. All right. The licensee will do it when we get it.
I'm just excited that I'm at the stage where I am right now. It's exciting because it goes in spurts. I mean, it trickles, and then it's like a rocket ship. And I've had people offer me $500 for this thing already, and it was when it was still made out of steel. This is all aluminum body and different. But anyway, I digress. Sorry.
No, that's right. And, this is where you can share your excitement, and everybody is hoping to get there. So, that's a good thing. And, Hillary's been selling for a while, and I've had her on the radio before. So, it's good for all of you guys when you can, share your stories, and, the new folks can say, hey, by next year, I want to be there where Lon's got, prototypes and somebody wants to buy it. And, I want to be having problems with Amazon when I've got some inventory. So, we all look to each other to get down the road.
Well, that's what I'm working towards right now. I pray daily, and I know that God has a reason for this, and there's a purpose behind it, because everybody that I've been dealing with, it's God is first in their heart, and getting this into the hands of people who can use it is second importance to them. So
you've got an assignment when you go to this fishing program, outing venture. All right. And that is to take names of people that want to buy one and contact information, because when we do license it, we can say these people are waiting. If there are any store owners who want it, keep a list again.
Okay.
All right. But those store owners order that kind of equipment from someone. All right. So you want to be able to contact them, or we want to be able to contact them. That's what we do, is after you get back and say, okay, who would buy this kind of stuff from you? Would you carry it in your store? Because if they contact, John, who, sells them this kind of equipment and says, this guy's got a really cool thing out there and we want to carry him. We want to be a retailer for this product. All right. That's how we start making inroads on getting the licensing, because the potential licensee knows who they're going to be, who's already going to start placing orders.
So get their name and contact information.
Business card, whatever they've got. If they've got anybody that they can recommend, and just say, you know, we'll shoot you an email after this is all over, and you know, pick your brain a little bit if you don't mind, and you know, you just say, hey, we would really like to be able to, you know, get some more information so we can see how we can get this out there.
Awesome. Awesome.
And,
thank you.
And it's fine to tell them, it's like, you know, yeah, I can, you know, I can get some, you know, onesies and twosies made now, but I really need to license this. And when they say, well, you know, we don't do that. Well, no, if they're a store owner, they don't. It's like, but they know who does. They know the companies that make it.
Okay. All right. I'm just excited.
You should be.
Nervous. It's nervous. I don't know if it's more nervous or excited, but it's moving.
Good. That's good. I'm proud of you. All right.
We also got a pitch night coming up too in September. It's a $20,000 grant pitch. So
good for you. Well, and you know, I've always believed that going and doing a pitch is good practice for you. You know, when you think about when they are able to ask questions, you know, and you can say, well, that was really a stupid question. We don't want to tell them that, but yeah. And then there's other times that is really a good question, and I need to put that into my pitch. So that, you know, I'm answering the good questions. And, you know, sometimes I had one lady I was talking to today, and I said, your video is very good on the back half. The front half is rather insulting to a potential licensee.
Do you ever work with SCORE?
I refuse to answer that.
Okay. Okay.
I know of SCORE, and I know a lot of people who have worked with SCORE, and I think that they probably have a place in guidance, but their value is not necessarily to an inventor as much as it is to a potential local person. You know, and I've always seen them as, you know, kind of out of work middle management people, as opposed to someone who's actually gone through all of the steps that you're going through to develop a product and get it out there. And, you know, a lot of times if they're helping somebody set up a local restaurant, is very different than taking a product to market that could be selling internationally.
Okay. That's good to know, because I was told to contact them.
Yeah. Don't waste your time.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. One of the exercises they will put you through, and a lot of the different places charge for it, is creating a business plan. A licensee does not want to see your business plan. They have their own. All right. They want to see the product. And, you know, at that point, the last thing they want you telling them is how big a certain industry is. They already know how big it is.
Right.
For you, you may have information on, you know, quadriplegics, you know, that realm that they don't have. All right.
Right.
So when you look at your specific product and the company that may be licensing it, you look specifically at what you're bringing to the party that may be different than what they have.
Well, okay. So I know I'm dominating the class. Sorry. Yes, Melanie, Marco, and
Her name is not Holdylocks, it's Hillary.
Hillary. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
That's my puppy. Sorry. If a person works up a pitch for this pitch night, can they run it by you? Because I've also got a chance to be in a veterans owned business pitch night for 50,000. So
Hey, yeah.
But they're out their ways.
Yeah. All right. You know, because of your qualifications for these different pitch nights, you know, yeah, go take advantage of them. See what you can get. I've actually worked with inventors who won some of those different qualifiers.
I have to go. Hello, Greg. Can I call you back?
Yeah, go. You can go.
All right.
Or mute yourself, that's fine. So Lon was in the military and came back just fine. And within a few weeks after being back was in a car accident that left him a quadriplegic. And so yeah, he went through some tough times, you know, deciding that he didn't want to throw himself off the cliff, but then this became his passion. And so that's I'm proud of him for, you know, getting to the point now where he's going to go to this fishing group for 2 weeks and show off and stuff. So anyway, anybody else have some questions?
Well, I'm getting requests for wholesale, but they're usually foreigners, and I'm thinking they're scammers. But you know, I want to get into place to where I can get into distribution and wholesale eventually. I've been reading about it where, you know, you want to make sure that the purchaser, you know, will give you a certificate of credit, you know, so you don't get burnt, you know, somebody refunding their credit card or something when you get a big order.
One of the things that you can consider using is a PayPal account.
Okay. PayPal would be.
Send them an invoice. All right.
Yeah.
PayPal processes the invoice.
Okay.
You know, credit card. And so you never have to touch it.
Okay.
All right. You know, if PayPal doesn't approve it and it does not get paid, you know pretty quick.
It won't be. Yeah. Okay. So that's safe enough. Okay. I wasn't sure if large orders were safe when you're doing it with your normal run-of-the-mill Stripe and PayPal for something like that. If it was a big order.
Yeah, if you're doing, you know, wholesale internationally, they pay for it before it ships.
Oh, okay.
All right. One of the things you may want to look at doing is using a fulfillment company for something like that.
Right. Oh, I am looking into that. Yeah.
All right. Look at Packwell Manufacturing.
Oh, platform manufacturing. Okay.
Packwell. Put that in your list that you're going to send me the email. Packwell Manufacturing is in California. They do fulfillment. And they will ship all over, but they will know then how to do that. So if they've got your product there and someone sends in an order, they're the ones that will deal with it and make sure everything is done correctly. The woman's name is Robin Adelman. Her grandfather invented the blister pack.
Oh yeah. Those things are cool.
Yeah. So they've got the, you know, they do packaging, but they also do warehousing and fulfillment. And then we've got several inventors who use them and are very happy with them because they cost a lot less than a lot of the others.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, they can really start.
Yeah. And that's one way to protect yourself. All right. They don't fulfill for Amazon, but they do fulfill for TikTok and everybody else.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right. So I will send you Robin's contact tomorrow. She's a wonderful lady.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So, yeah, anything you guys, you know, if you've got any questions, Melanie, Marco, I think Jess had to leave. But if you guys have any questions, give me a call, shoot me an email. You know, I will answer you just as soon as I can.
Okay. Yeah. I also found this other thing. I don't know, merchant processing for Nexus, you know, because a lot of people from Germany like my product, and Australia, all those international. I can't believe they pay, you know, $18 to get a barrette, but they do, you know, the shipping.
Whatever.
Yeah. So anyways, I do need to get my Nexus straightened out. I did find a company. I guess the name of them is, let me look at that real quick. I think it's, it starts with a V, but it used to be, I get Verifone. It used to be 2 checkout or something like that. And they charge like 6% of your fee, but they handle VAT and stuff like that. But I'm hoping it's not going to be one of those PCI compliant nightmares.
You know, my best suggestion is talk to Robin. see what
Yeah.
they do.
Okay.
And
That
if,
stuff.
if they fulfill for all of that, go for it.
Oh, that would be awesome if she could take care of that part, because that's the complicated part. It's like, I don't know about bats and stuff.
Yeah, give her a call because she's actually doing packaging for 2 other inventors, and for the one guy, they took $2. She ended up getting $2 off of his wholesale price because they were more reasonable.
Oh, awesome. That would be
And the other lady as well, it brought down what she was going to have to use as her wholesale price because they were more reasonable. And like I said, if they do your fulfillment, they warehouse for free.
awesome. That's a big savings too. You don't have to pay for the shelf space and monthly rent.
Yep. But I'll send you, like I said, shoot me an email in the morning with everything I'm supposed to send you, and I will send it out to you and get that information in your hands.
All right, thank you. Really appreciate it.
All right. So we are going to have a guest speaker in September and a guest speaker in October. But what I do then is I send it out either to all of the, Virtual West, Central, and East, so that, everybody can get on to that one meeting for that speaker. And so we're going to do, I know we're going to do probably the R&D tax credit guys again, probably in November. But we are going to do, we'll have the product liability guy on so that he can talk about that, but we'll also get Robin back on so she can talk about the fulfillment and everything. So we're going to try to do one a month now through at least the next few months, because it makes so much more sense if you guys can ask the questions of the real person instead of my relaying it through you and not getting everything.
Awesome.
All right. So we'll post that as we get them lined up. We're going to, like I said, I know we're going to do September, October, November. We may, just answer questions in December again, but get started. I cannot believe we're looking at 2025.
I know, it's going so fast.
I
know. So fast.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So anyway, everybody, unless you've got another question or something you want to bring up, I'm going to let you all go, and I will hear from all of you when you've got questions of me.
All right.
All right, guys.
All right.
My pleasure. Marco, one of these days we're going to talk to you. All right. Talk to you all later.
All right. Bye-bye. Bye.